an artist called Julian Villard. It's a song called Jimmy Dean and Steve McQueen. I like that. It's got a nice kind of bounce to it. You're not well today.
No, I didn't like that.
I know you didn't.
It certainly was not an opener.
Of course it was an opener.
No,
it's an opener written all over it.
Not an opener.
It has opener written all over it.
I would say if he was doing a live show, that's the sort of show he would start the second half, the sort of song he would start the second half of the show with.
Is that right?
Yeah. It's well into the middle of a program.
All right, then, I understand.
Why are you leaning away over there?
Because I'm looking at the emails, because these people don't let me. Do you know what normally... Ah!
That's Shane.
The chair collapsed again. Someday somebody's going to get their eye put out. Listen, there are complaints from the continent. A gentleman writes to me, I've got complaints from Germany, from the Netherlands and from Denmark. I'll just choose this one. I'm very dependent upon and appreciative of the excellent online BBC radio service, as I spend a lot of time in Germany. But since the Olympics began, it has not been available, but all other BBC services seem to be running smoothly. I contacted BBC Broadcasting House about 2 weeks ago, and a person on the phone from the internet side of things, he didn't appear very interested in my query. Well, welcome to the BBC. He told me it was because of the Paralympics and the Olympics before that I couldn't understand the connection. As he wasn't very friendly on the phone, I got off it. The service is not available here in Germany. Well, apparently there's some little glitch, but apparently it's going to be sorted out. I think it's going to be sorted out today.
Yeah, I had people from America complaining that they couldn't hear the Wii show yesterday. Right.
Yeah, I've got the person from Netherlands, but another person from Denmark.
Well, when's it getting fixed?
I don't know. I think it's a wee technical thing. I think it's going to be sorted out today.
It's not a wee technical thing.
Well, it's okay. Okay, let me just alter that sentence. It's a technical thing. Yeah. It may be sorted out today, as far as I know. So we apologise to people out there. It's a little...
They can't hear us.
It's a gremlin. That's one of those things.
It's not a gremlin.
It's not a... Well, what is it then?
It's a man refusing to pull the switch. The same man who pushed the switch to turn us off.
He's probably not getting enough money. And he's probably making a protest. I will not pull the switch until they give me more money. That's what we do here. We won't play records unless they give us more money.
I've been trying that for years. It doesn't work, let me tell you.
Then they get another guy in. You're not well today, I can tell. You're very yellow around the eyes.
Stop
you are, I looked at you this morning. You didn't know I was looking at you.
No, I didn't.
No. You're very yellow. See, what do you call the things in your eyes? Your pupils and your irises?
Yeah.
You know the whites of your eyes? Yeah. What do you call that? What do you call the whites of your eyes?
Is it the same as the white of an egg?
It's nearly the same, but
what
yours
do you call
the
white of an egg?
It's the opposite to the yolk.
No, it starts with a B, does it?
B?
Does it start with a B?
What is it? Balumper. I don't know what it is. Listen, it's all right. Albumin. What is it again?
Bobulin.
Albumin.
Albumin. It starts with a B, yeah.
Albumin. Albumin. It's the yolk and the albumin.
Yeah.
Well, your eyes got a distinct yellow tinge. And you know what that means?
No.
That means you may not belong for this world.
I took 2 fizzies this morning.
Oh, I saw them. You showed them to me before you took them.
Yes.
I used to do that on this program. I discovered I was hysterical. Fizzies are not good, because you get this sense of well-being that is not deserved at 10 o'clock or 10:30 in the morning. You'll go down. You'll be down. By the time you do your program this afternoon, you'll have to take another 2. Now you're an addict. That's what'll happen to you.
And I can't understand it because my diet, and I do everything right. I exercise. I eat my 5 pieces of fruit every morning. I take my bowl of porridge. I have my bowl of homemade soup, vegetable or beef every day. I mean, I get my vegetables, I get my fruit, and I'm not overweight. I don't smoke.
It's your mind.
I drink moderately.
Your mind is dead. That's what's wrong with you. You don't seem to realise that.
Horrible ailments.
Yes, that's because your mind is given up. Your mind is dead. There's a man coming in filling with our knobs. Get away!
You look at the life you've led.
And I should be dead.
You've abused yourself. In every sense of the word. Yeah.
Every sense of the word. I should be dead 20 years ago.
Didn't eat.
I didn't eat for 5 years. Hardly at all. I had a bag of chips every week for about 2 years. And then then I had an orange.
You have an ailment.
Nothing wrong with me. I don't, touch wood. But it just goes to show you, do you ever look at people...
But you would give it all up for a good head of hair.
There was no need for that. There was absolutely no need for that.
I want to get to the bottom of this.
Okay, now, as far as you are concerned, now, I've talked to you about this before.
I don't want to labour this.
No,
But I was speaking to someone very close to you. Very, very close to you.
Yes. Yes? Do you want me to stop now, or do you want to continue?
No. I know that you've been somewhere.
I have been somewhere, yes.
And you got something done to your head.
You don't know that.
Yes.
You don't know
Yes.
that. You won't know that.
Yes.
There's no way you can tell. I haven't told anybody, one way or the other. Nobody knows. And nobody who knows would tell you that.
No, well, I was
told.
The
only people who know are the people who are involved in the program, and they wouldn't tell you. Because they know what a blabbermouth you are.
If I get the opportunity to run my fingers from the back of your head to your brow, it's all bristly.
Well, you're not going to get that opportunity. See if you come near me with your hand.
Fresh little sprouts of hair.
The green shoots of an economic recovery.
Yes.
No, I'm going to tell you this, and I'm going to tell you this once and no more. Keep away from me. Okay? Keep away from me. You're limited only to what you can see. If you can't see any difference in my head, that means nothing. But if you come and rub your hand up and down my scalp, I will be very upset. I'll get Jack. Because you'll be taking a risk. No. The only way that you're going to discover whether or not I've had a hair transplant is by watching that program on Tuesday night. Yeah? It's called Losing It. It's on BBC Northern Ireland. Now, I don't want to plug this nakedly, and I don't want to turn it into a Nolan, but this is not more than just a
Will this
TV
offer
program.
help to men who
absolutely.
are thinking about
no, this is not a joke.
I know a lot of men worry about that and upset them seriously on a serious.
No, I'll tell you what. This is a real look at the world of hair transplants, right? And it's it's not without humour, but it's not meant to be. We're not taking the piss out of it, you know. It's a very serious look at it, and we're looking at it, and we're trying to find out how much we can about it and how it all works and everything. And it's a fascinating program, and what other people do, what people do in America, all the things that are going on. It's very interesting. I enjoyed it tremendously. But the thing is that you don't know. See, the premise of the program was that I'm going to have a look at what people could do for me, right? Because people tell me that I'm losing a little hair. I don't believe them, but they tell me that. The premise of the program is that I go in and I say, I wonder what they could do for me. And all during the course of the program, I'm thinking. But you don't know what happens at the end. It's as simple as that. It's a cliffhanger. Okay? And don't you dare suggest that you know, because you don't know. And even if I had anything done, you wouldn't see, because if I've had a hair transplant done, you won't see the hair until Christmas. I've got a lovely head of hair for Christmas.
Answer me one thing. This is the last question.
Okay, I don't want to labour this.
No, I don't want to labour it either. Okay,
yes.
This is the last. Where do they get the hair?
In the back of your head. That's why I'm an ideal candidate. Don't you know? See, have you get very thick? See, the only hair in your head that's permanent is just above your neck, your hairline, just halfway up your neck, right? See, just there. You take it off from there.
But the nip.
What?
The nip, is it?
The nip of your neck, yeah. And in there.
Why am I feeling the back of my neck?
Because you want to see if you're suitable or not. Because you're going baldy too.
I am not.
Yes, you are.
I am not.
You're in denial. You are. I noticed a severe reduction in your hair. I've noticed it this last year or so, but I didn't say anything. Unlike you, I'm not the kind of person who'll say, "Oh, look at you, you're going baldy." You're the type of person who'd say that.
I've never said that to you.
You have.
I have not.
You have. To other people, I heard you. Anyway, I wouldn't say that.
You are bald.
You see, there you are.
You're not going.
What?
You're not going.
You mean I am?
You're gone.
I'm not.
You are.
I'm not.
You're bald.
Look at me. Look at me. Thomasina, come to my aid.
Is he bald?
Come on, look at me. Come on. Is this a
Thomasina,
bald...
in fairness, says no.
Thomasina, is this a bald man you're looking at? Absolutely not. Say that louder, Thomasina. Yes or no?
No.
Yeah, no, she said.
No.
I said yes or no, not no.
No.
Jeez. What kind of people? What
you
kind of people are the schools turning out?
No.
Anyway. Oh, listen to you coughing. That's an old people's home cough. You should be in there with a blanket around your knee.
Well, I like a full-bodied lager as much as the next hard-working man. The taste of suds while dealing stud I can surely understand. The trucker speed, and yes indeed, it's nearly getting light. Well, it's time to switch to whiskey, we've been drinking beer all night. You can fish for bass and cut your grass and drink that purple gas. Sure enough, with the powerful stuff that'll knock you on your ass. It's like diesel fuel, nobody's fool, don't want to get left behind. it's time to switch to whiskey. We've been drinking beer all night. Well, it's time to switch to whiskey. We've been drinking beer all night. We're all half dead and them that's left is spoiling for a fight. Well, who the funk will quit drinking drunk? Now, boys, don't spare the ride. It's time to switch to whiskey. We've been drinking beer all night. I've been splitting eights and hitting the straights in the card rooms of the world. Chasing skirt and getting hurt. Now I got a card playing girl. But man, she gets excited when the deal don't come out right. Well, it's time to switch to whiskey. We've been drinking beer all night. Well, it's time to switch to whiskey. We've been drinking beer all night. We're all half dead and them that's left is spoiling for a fight. Well, who'd have thought we'd get jackass drunk? The boys don't spare the ride. It's time to switch to whiskey. We've been drinking beer all night. Said that you can get some heat in Irish pubs, serving Jamesons to an Orangeman or Bushmills to his cuz. Well, here's what you do with Tullamore Dew, you can meet them both halfway. Well, it's time to switch to whiskey, they've been drinking beer all day. Well, it's time to switch to whiskey, we've been drinking beer all night. We're all half dead and them that's left is spoiling for a fight. Well, who'd thunk will quit drinking drunk? Now, boys, don't spare the ride. It's time to switch to whiskey. We've been drinking beer all night. It's time to switch to whiskey. We've been drinking beer all night.
That's one of the few country songs where country anthem gets a name check. That's called Time to Switch to Whiskey. That's from a country singer called Corb Lund. In case you're interested, I'll spell it out because it's an odd name. We're not used to it here. Corb, C-O-R-B, Lund, L-U-N-D. Seems of Scandinavian origin, but then again, what would I know? I know you're sick, Sean, but there's certain things we've contracted to do today. And
do
I
you
think
remember Lundy's Fruit Store?
Excuse me?
Lundy's Fruit Store.
Where was it? Here in Derrystoke, London?
Yeah,
Lundy's Fruit Store?
I'm almost certain it was Lundy.
Lundy?
Was it Lundy's?
I don't know. Lundy, very famous name, of course.
He's
the man who sold out the people of Derrystoke, Londonderry for
was it Lundy's
for
Fruit
a bap.
Store?
Lundy's Fruit Store?
I don't know. It's a beautiful big fruit store in Butcher Street.
Don't you think this is a little local?
I know, but just they were. I think they were in the northwest. I think they were in Portrush and Coleraine, and yeah, almost Lundy's. I just
Can we move
about,
on?
No, the outside of the shop used to be painted purple. I just thought about them. That's all.
It's okay.
You know, maybe you think about things from the past.
No, but I often think of things, but I don't say them. You know what I mean? Let's just move on here. Yesterday we featured, well, not yesterday, I suppose it was the day before, would it have been? I can't remember. Various versions of undertone songs, namely Teenage Kicks, sung by unusual vocalists with an unusual musical background. And you promised that you would do Teenage Kicks by Roy Walker today, and My Perfect Cousin by Eamon McCann.
But I'm not well.
I know you're not well, but sometimes I feel as if, I need to perk you up.
Yeah, but could you do one in the meantime?
No.
There's a request here for you to do one.
What is it?
I must hear Councillor Jim Rogers doing Teenage Kicks. And give me time to recover. My legs are as weak. My legs don't belong to me today.
I can tell. That's the wrong thing. Hold on a second. Who's it? Who do you want to get?
Councillor Rogers.
I don't know if it's disrespectful or not.
He's all right. Jim's good crack.
Teenage dreams so hard to beat. Every time she walks down the street, another girl in the neighborhood wish she was mine. She looks good. I want to hold her tight. I jump over a tomato for her. Got teenage kicks through the night. I can't do this. I wasn't ready for this.
I know. What did you do to me?
At least, no, but you were warned yesterday.
But
I go to call her on the telephone.
I can't do it. I've lost the voice.
No, it's all right, you see.
Have her over because I'm all alone. I need excitement. I need it bad. It's the best I've ever had.
I can't do it.
A teenage dream so hard to beat.
every time she walks down the street. Another girl in the neighborhood. Wish she was mine. She looks so good.
I want to hold her tight. Get teenage kicks right through the night.
I'm gonna call her on the telephone. Have her over 'cause I'm all alone. I need excitement, and I need it bad. And it's the best I've ever had.
I want to hold her tight. Get teenage kicks all through the night. All right?
I wanna hold her tight. Get teenage...
Teenage kicks?
I told you I'm not well. I would need to go through the M Square. Can no one help me?
It's teenage kicks. Say it after me.
It's teenage kicks.
It's teenage kicks.
I
all
wanna
through.
hold her tight. Get teenage kicks. Right?
No. Teenage kicks.
I wanna hold her tight. Get teenage kicks.
No.
I can't. You have to say what I'm saying, Roy Walker. Roy Walker says kicks.
No, he doesn't. He can say kicks.
He can't.
You're saying kicks.
That's what I'm saying. Because it's a bit like Pat Jennings. Pat Jennings say teenage kicks.
Do a verse, Pat Jennings. Go on.
Teenage dreams so hard to beat. Every time she walks down the street. Another girl in the neighborhood. Wish she was mine. She looks so good. I want to hold her. I want to hold her tight. Get teenage kicks right through the night.
You lost it there.
I know, because I'm trying to get me kicks.
I know.
It's very hard.
It's hard to get your kicks these days.
Yes, I know.
Especially at our age. You nearly morphed into a footballer there. Of course, Pat Jennings was a footballer. But you nearly morphed into a Scottish footballer there. Namely, Alan Hansen.
Is that right? I'm going to call her on the telephone. Have her over here, because I'm all alone. I need excitement. Well, I need it bad. And it's the best I've ever had.
We'll do the other one later. Something for you to look forward to during the course of your illness. No, this makes you feel better. This is called therapy. That's what they call it in the hospital. a very interesting record there. That's called Jig a Jig, instrumental, of course, by a band called East of Eden. That was made in 1970. Would you believe that? 41 years ago. That was the first known example of rock and roll marrying Irish traditional music. That was the record that inspired bands like Horselips and all those Moving Hearts and things like that. Isn't that amazing? That's true, because I remember asking people out of Horselips, the guys out of Horselips, what was it that inspired them to do that kind of Celtic rock? What's that? What was that? Is that you? Is that you breathing heavily there? A death rattle? It's Geordie. Oh, yeah. Good morning, Geordie. How are you?
Hello, Gerry.
Sorry, I was wondering who that was. I didn't recognise that death rattle. I suddenly realised that it's yours.
Oh, I'm back in the land I live in.
I know that. I was very pleased to hear you back to your real self the other day.
I'm out of the home to the wee white house.
That's right, yeah, and a house that has been specially decorated and looked after and renovated for you. You sound like a man who's happy.
From his big toe to the crown of his head.
Indeed.
And Henry, the cockatiels, whistling and barging, and Stanley the goat running about, and wee Rusty. So.
Mm-hmm. Did you see the story in some of the newspapers today, or on the radio? You may have heard about it, about the little bull, who is now the shortest bull in the world.
Yes, I did indeed. The wee Dexter.
That? Have you seen Dexter? Have you seen a photograph of it?
No.
It's like it looks like Hugo. It's a wee tiny thing. Tiny. Yeah.
All cordon aside.
Yes.
I'm glad you took my advice.
What was that?
You said to me, don't do talking. By now I'm away, you said.
Did I?
Oh, you did.
By now I'm away? Well, that's what I always say at the end of conversations. What's so horrible about
that?
Well,
I told you about it.
About what?
About your hair transplant.
Oh, but how do you know I've had one? How do you know?
Oh,
you advised me that... Listen to that.
Yes.
You advised me to do it.
I did.
Well, you see, I considered your advice.
And then you said, bye now.
Oh, I dismissed you.
You did.
That's probably because I may have been slightly embarrassed.
Oh, no, but you're a good-looking man, Gerry, now.
Thank you. You've never told me that before. Yeah, all right.
But you're like, you're long, lean and hungry like a pot well.
Another notch on the stick. Well, I don't know. I can't comment about my own appearance, but, let's say perhaps the best way to describe me would be maybe reasonably well preserved. Would you think that's fair enough, Sean?
You're all put together in the right shape and form.
I'm not the youngest person in the world,
no,
but nor do I look like the oldest person in the world. There are those my age who look older. I know this. You can
always get the ladies, Gerry.
What?
You can always get the ladies.
No, I can't.
What?
Because I'm not looking for them. If they want to come, that's all right.
Oh, they do come. Huh?
They come after me.
Like
sometimes
a jump pot.
Sometimes I reject them.
I would say, well, you can't take them all.
That's true. Well, what do you think? Do you think I've done something untoward? Do you think I've taken that great leap? Do you think
I think you're doing a wonderful job.
Well, thank you for that. It's good to have your approbation.
Being honestly, I think you're doing a wonderful job when you keep more old people happy.
Oh, thank you. He keeps old people happy. Well, thank you. I can think of no greater compliment.
But I say I love to hear Gerry and Sean, and then when you come on, you make the day.
Yeah. Well, it's good to hear you're back to your old self.
I'm back to old...
I was worried about you because you were making sense there for a long time.
People are concerned about Geordie's rooster. Did he get it back? Did he lose his rooster?
Yes, I got the rooster back.
That's good.
Oh. He was away to Scarva.
Scarva, for the scam fight? For the sham fight, was it?
There was black-eyed hens there and they were looking at a rooster.
Oh.
And he must have got the smell
of him. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that's all we need to know. A little too much information. Get the smell of the hens, eh? I'm sure it's like that here. Anyway, Geordie, thank you a lot.
Thank you, John. Yep. Give her a look till we get out.
Right then, thank you. I think we can take it that Geordie is completely recovered.
Yes.
And is now back 100% to his former roguish self. Thank you.
On 92 to 95 FM
and 1341 medium wave.
This is BBC Radio Ulster.
It's 11 o'clock, BBC News with Anne-Marie Foster. More than 700 jobs are to go at the Northern Ireland engineering firm FG Wilson. The company has factories in Larne, Monkstown and West Belfast. Our business correspondent Kevin McGee is at the main factory in Larne.
Workers at FG Wilson were told the devastating news this morning. The company, one of Northern Ireland's largest manufacturers, makes diesel generator sets and is owned by the giant Caterpillar Corporation. It says it's laying off 760 workers across its 3 locations in Northern Ireland, at Larne, Monkstown and Springvale in West Belfast. The company is blaming a slowdown in the global demand for its generator sets. The company is also moving some production to China. Caterpillar says it values its employees' contribution, and these actions are not a reflection of them, but rather of the business climate.
The Enterprise Minister, Arlene Foster, has described the job losses as devastating. She said she'd do all she could to limit the impact of the redundancies. The Alliance MLA for East Antrim, Stuart Dixon, expressed his shock at the announcement and called on the Prime Minister, David Cameron, to address what he described as a national economic blow. This morning, Stormont ministers held what was being described as a mini-economic forum to discuss the latest increase in unemployment and how the executive should respond. The jobless rate has increased to 8.2%. That's higher than the average for the rest of the UK. Gardaí investigating the paramilitary display at a real IRA funeral in Dublin last weekend have arrested 14 people. Shots were fired across the coffin of Alan Ryan before he was buried. Our Dublin correspondent Shane Harrison has more.
Alan Ryan, a leading dissident Republican, was shot dead. It's suspected by criminals on Monday of last week and buried on Saturday. There has been much criticism of the paramilitary display at his funeral, with Gardaí saying there would be arrests in connection with it. This morning, armed detectives arrested 13 men and a woman in counties Dublin, Louth, Meath and Kildare. Those in custody can be questioned for up to 3 days before they're either charged or released.
Sport now. Here's Grant Cameron.
The Football Association has commended the Hillsborough Independent Panel for their exhaustive and professional work and highlighted the improvements in safety at grounds following the disaster 23 years ago. An FA statement also reiterates its deep and ongoing sadness at the dreadful events that unfolded in 1989. Ireland's cricketers have defeated Zimbabwe by 54 runs in Sri Lanka in a warm-up match ahead of the World 2020 series. Zimbabwe could only manage 127 for 8 in reply to Ireland's innings of 181 for 5. And former world boxing champion Barry McGuigan says Ricky Hatton is still good enough to regain the WBA welterweight title if, as expected, he announces tomorrow that he's returning to the ring at the age of 33.
The weather forecast now. Here's Angie Phillips.
A cloudy and breezy day, but apart from the odd spot of drizzle, mainly in the north and west, it's a mainly dry day as well. Milder than yesterday, with the breeze from the southwest, lifting highs to around 18 Celsius, although those temperatures offset by the strength of the wind, which will continue to pick up through the day. It'll be pretty strong by this evening, with gusts to gale force likely towards the north, as a band of rain spreads across all parts.
BBC News. BBC Radio Ulster. Travel News.
There's been an accident in Ballymena. 2 roads are closed as a result. Those are Sand Road from Galgorm Village to the Cullibaki Road and Woodtown Road from Sand Road to Cullibaki Road. In public transport, the railway line between Coleraine and Portrush will be closed for 9 days from Saturday. The Ballymoney to Coleraine line will be closed this weekend and the following one. And on this and next Sunday, there'll be some timetable changes between Belfast and Coleraine. Full details are available at the station or by calling Translink on 90 666630. Kerry Martin reporting.
Travel News on BBC Radio Ulster.
On Talkback today with me, William Crawley, a devastating blow to our economy. Over 700 jobs to go at one of our biggest employers, FG Wilson. The company is expected to make a major announcement just after midday. We'll bring it to you live and we'll be speaking to the unions. Also, smoking in hospitals. They've just banned it at one hospital down south. Shouldn't they be doing the same here? And Hillsborough, the families say they got the truth yesterday, but what about justice? How likely are prosecutions? I've been talking to Michael Mansfield QC. Your calls today on 08459 555 678. Our lines are open from 12 noon.
Thank you. That's William Crawley. Talk back coming up at 12 o'clock. There's a request. To any chance you could play Ecstasy of Gold by Ennio Morricone? It's very beautiful, from the good, the bad, and the ugly. I went to see Ennio Morricone, during the holidays.
You're saying that.
Oh, what a great night. It was in Rimini, and an open-air concert with Ennio Morricone, with the Rome Symphony Orchestra, and a choir of 100 people. And, outside, an Italian night.
Yeah.
The moon just hanging there, the sea. Big castle there.
Pint of Guinness.
Pint of harp. Can of cider. Half a dozen tomato pan.
10 woodbine. What more would a man want?
Park Drive. Bo Peep matches.
Sausage supper.
Fish supper.
Yeah.
Chicken curry. No, chips, peas and gravy. It was great. And then a miffy. It was great, though. I did that number myself. Here's the song I played yesterday, and I thought it was lovely. What? I'm not playing it. I don't have it.
Big build-up.
I don't have it. I know, that's what I do. I build them up and let them down.
Well, listen, before you go,
yeah,
could you...
I'm not going anywhere.
Could you... now, there's a couple who have recently celebrated their wedding anniversary.
Yeah.
62 years married.
My God.
And they listen to your show every day.
God bless them.
June and John Robinson. And they live, I think it's the Hollywood Road in Belfast. But they're big fans of your programme. And they've never had a request played on the radio.
Maybe perhaps they're ready.
But wouldn't you pick something nice for them?
Well, what would they like, do you think?
Well, what have you got there? None of the mad stuff that you play.
Oh, you're trying to get me to get into the core.
Yeah.
Aren't you?
Well, what have you got?
A man sent me a postcard complaining retrospectively about you and Gerry Kelly. He said to me, the next time that you go away, leave 2 grenades in the core. I said, I say 2 grenades in case one of them doesn't go off.
That's horrible.
That's a horrible thing to say, but I have to say entirely accurate.
But what about June and John?
What would they like, do you think? Hey, I'll tell you what, because June and John have been married for 62 years and they live on the Hollywood Road and are listeners to this programme. I see no reason at all why they shouldn't hear what they want to hear. So why don't you contact them and ask them what they would like to hear, and then you can get it.
But sure, I have no phone number.
Well, how do you know about them?
Because someone phoned in to...
Well, phone that someone and ask them what they'd like to hear.
I don't have someone's phone number.
Well, is it not there?
No.
Of course it's there. We have all the records here.
No, I don't have it.
Everybody who phones, we know who it is.
No, a lady phoned up to say she's joined the programme and could we please play a request for a lovely couple, June and John Robinson, their wedding anniversary, and could please play a nice wee song for them because they listen every morning.
All right then.
So,
okay.
What'll I do?
Why don't you pick something?
Why don't you play some Nat King Cole or something like that?
Let There Be Love.
You like Nat King Cole?
I like Let There Be Love.
Are you going to get that? Sure, it's good today.
There's me book.
Right. Let's see what's got.
Nat King Cole. That starts with a K. Is that Nat? That's Nat King Cole, is it? Right. Or is it?
Let me see.
The old jokes are the best. Nat King Cole. He's not here. Look
he
at
has
this.
To be there.
No,
he has
not
to
here.
He is.
Johnny Nash, Nelson. No, Nat King Cole.
Is he not under C?
Cole?
Try C.
No, he's not.
He must be under Cole.
Oh, there he is.
Yes.
Let There Be Love. Let me see. Let There Be Love.
What?
Number 30.
Are you going to get it? Oh, this is great.
Am I going to get it?
Yeah.
I'm going to play this other track. I played this the other day, and then I'll play that later. This is a track by the Villagers. It's called The Waves. There are waves up in the diamond sky, stronger than you and I. I'm a wave. I break through the barrier reef, cut through the carbon sea, approaching the shore. Look at the sky, look at the trees, man, it's all the same to me. Look at the cars, look at the birds, and all of these invented words. One body's dying breath is another's birth. What are you running from? What are you running from? Sister jury, brother judge, and you I recognize this grudge. Buried deep beneath the sands of these ridiculous demands. No time for innocence or sitting on the fence. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna when the waves
human love for anything or anyone. Look at the birds, look at the bees, madame, it's all the same to me. Look at the girls, look at the gold, gathered, beaten, bought and sold. One man's innocence is another's chance. What were you thinking of? What were you thinking of? Now please let me boil it down to this, my son. This party's getting wet, but it ain't over yet. So what is it gonna be? What is it gonna be? What is it gonna be? Just like the waves cover a coastal plain, the fear and the guilt and the pain, and the trace of honeybee jealousy, of well-insulated bigotry. And if you don't agree, you better get back inside your cave, 'cause we're all dancing with the waves up in the diamond sky. Storms that leave behind, and the waves break through the barrier, cut through the calm sea, approaching the shore, approaching the shore, approaching the shore, approaching the shore, approaching the
You thought that wasn't coming, didn't you?
Sir.
You had no confidence in me. You thought maybe perhaps I'd messed it. But I didn't. I was thinking about it. I thought I'd leave the people in suspense. And I know I'm talking over the piano.
Let there be you, let there be me, let there be oysters under the sea, let there be wind, an occasional rain, chili con carne, sparkling champagne. Let there be birds sing in the trees, someone to bless me whenever I sneeze. Let there be cuckoos, a lark and a dove, but first of all, please let there be love. Let there be cuckoos, a lark and a dove, but first of all, please let there be love. 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 Let there be love.
Nat King Cole, that there be love for, what do you call those people we did that request for?
That was
Nice
for
people?
June and John Robinson in Belfast, 62 years married.
Here's a fond comment about Stephen Nolan. Don't know why you let that fat shite any airtime whatsoever in your show. He has no breeding at all. That's kind, isn't it? That's nice.
There's a wee call for you.
Is there? Hello, good morning. Yes, good morning. Hello, caller. Hello, hesitant to come. Hello, caller. I
don't know if that's me, Gerry.
Yes, that's it. Sorry. How are you?
Yes, all right. How are you?
I'm all right, thanks. What can we do for you today?
Gerry, I'll tell you what it is. My son came across a model of Gallagher's cigarette factory in York Street, Belfast.
Yes.
It's about 4 foot long, about 2.5 feet wide.
Mm-hmm.
Has the lights and all underneath it. With that's the old wiring on it. And he's looking to get rid of it. Well, if he want to know if he would know anybody would be able to buy it off him or whatever.
Okay, and Gallagher's cigarette factory. Now, I'm not from Belfast now. I know a lot of people.
No, you're not.
Is it still? Is the building still there?
No, half of it's still there. It's the old co-op, old Yorkgate.
Oh, that's right. I know the co-op. Yeah, you drive past it going to the M2, and at Yorkgate, and half of it is still there.
Well, not half of it, just a bit of the wall, the front of it. Must have been where his office was or something.
Do you know the first Gallagher cigarette was made in the street that I was born?
No.
There you
know
are.
Nothing about it, Gerry, to be honest with you. I didn't live too far away from it.
Actually, did you know that, Mr. Coyle?
Did I know it? Yes.
There was a blue plaque.
What about the Bicycle Man as well, too, or Ferguson, or something? There's some connection. There's some other connection with Sackville Street too, as well, is there not?
The street I was born in, Derry Stoke, Londonderry, was called Sackville Street. It was a small street right in the middle of town, and at the bottom of the street was a blue plaque. Of course, the street has now been involuntarily demolished by the Provost, but at that time there was a building there with a blue plaque on it that said that Mr. Gallagher, whatever his name was, had his first business there, and the first cigarette was made there. So, and then he moved on to greater things, moved to Belfast. This is a long time, of course, 18th century. 19th century. And you say there's a connection with Ferguson.
The Ferguson or Dunlop or something.
Dunlop, maybe, perhaps. But anyway, let us not stray into the realm of the unknown. This man's got a model of the factory. That would be quite valuable. You should bring the Ulster Museum and ask them if they're interested in it.
Give them a ring and see.
No, seriously. Because they don't mind. They don't mind you ringing. If you've got anything that you think may be of interest.
Yeah, for me, I think it was the old architects drawn off it. It gives you the whole plan of the car park and what have you.
Oh, I think you should, because all they can say is, well, we're not really interested, but thank you for calling. Do you know what I mean? Or else they might say, oh, I wouldn't mind have a look at that. I really don't think they mind, because the Ulster Museum is there for the people, and if anybody's got anything that's quite, I may be going out on a limb here, but maybe they might be upset, but I don't think they would be, because they seem to be nice people. And I don't think there's any reason why you couldn't ring up and say, listen, I've got this. Is it worth anything? Not worth anything. Is it of any value historically? Yeah. And then anyone out there who'd be interested in buying it or whatever, maybe you could contact us. Maybe you could contact them later.
Yeah, but it's just that there's a lot of people listening to your show. That's why I give you a wee ring to see if anybody would be interested in it.
Okay, anybody who's interested in one way or another, give us a ring here at 08459 555 678. Do you remember the time we went on the bus run?
Do you want the number of the Ulster Museum?
No,
Yes, would you?
What do you say?
That's what slows the programme up. You can always get the Ulster Museum number anywhere.
But you always say, this is sort of things you ask for.
No, I don't ask for that. Well, have you got the number of the Ulster Museum?
Yeah.
Oh, where did you get it?
Thomasina got it.
Did she get that while I was talking?
Yeah.
You mean you've actually been working for the programme?
Yeah.
I'm so shocked. I'm moved.
It's a Belfast number, of course. It's 90.
Thanks.
44 0100.
You see, what annoyed me there was when you said you want the number of the Ulster Museum, I imagined that you would say, where will I get it?
Oh, yeah.
But I didn't realise that Thomasina had done it already.
Did you get that number?
Yes, I did, Sean. Thank you.
Okay. Give them a ring and ask them. I'm sure they won't mind.
Tell them you're talking to Gerry and he told you to ring.
I will indeed. I'll do that now.
All right, then.
All right, thanks very much, Gerry.
Bye-bye.
Cheers, Sean. Cheerio.
Bye.
Bye. Do you remember the time we went to the Ulster Museum? Do you remember the time we brought the bus to the museum?
I enjoyed that wee trip out.
But do you notice what happened? Did you notice what happened? You see, this is what I'm talking about, and we asked the people to bring along anything that they thought was interesting from an historical point of view, because there's all kinds of experts there in the Ulster Museum, right? And people brought bits and pieces, and there was only one thing that they noticed, and they noticed it right away. It was this little silver teapot that one of the people brought along with them, and it was big time. You could see, do you remember their eyes all lit up and they just saw it? They just know right away. They looked at everything else. Oh, that's nice. That's the, oh, what's that? Bang, in, right, like a shot. See, they spot the valuable, no, not necessarily the valuable, the interesting, the historically valuable, historically interesting. They spot that right away. And they don't be rude to people who are bringing in, hoops and cliques. Wise up, Sean. If Gerry's had something done with his hair, he should get a refund.
Oh.
I saw him last week and he is baldy.
See?
You see how cruel that is? Robert said he went to a 70s themed bar last night, but I didn't know you had to dress in 70s clothes to get in, so the bouncer wouldn't let me in. Do you know what he said? Go, walk out that door. Just turn around now, because you're not welcome anymore. Do you remember the friend of ours who had the greatest... I love that. Do you remember the friend of ours who had the greatest reply ever to the bouncer? Do you remember that?
No.
He was a big Johnny Cash fan. Right? Oh, you remember this. I don't want to mention any names. You'll remember if I tell you a name, but I won't tell you a name because it's not fair to mention people. He was a great Western fan. Not country and Western fan, a great Western fan.
Yes.
And a good fan of country music. I don't mean, Big Tom. I mean, Mel Travis, that kind of thing. Real country music. George Jones. No, the real George Jones, not the other one. And... the false one. And the thing is that I went to the students' party, and whatever kind of a party, it was a special party, and they had a bouncer outside to stop undesirables coming in. So he was taking a chance, you see. He kind of half knew the people, but he hadn't got an invitation. So I was kind of semi-formal, and he arrives up at the door, and the bouncer's standing there. And the bouncer said, do you have an invite? I said, no, I'm sorry, I haven't, but I know the people inside, so you can't get in. So the bouncer got a wee bit of strappers, it's kind of, stand there. No, don't let me have to mess you about, this kind of thing. Their drink taken. And nobody said to the bouncer,
no.
Stand easy, stranger.
I never heard that before. Do I know the person who said that?
Yes, you do.
I do not.
You do. Stand easy, stranger. I bet you nobody has ever said that to a bouncer before. Imagine if you were a bouncer and a man said, stand easy, stranger.
You let that man in.
I would let him in if he said that.
That's a good line.
Let me say it again. Stand easy, stranger. Right then, you put me to work again.
Ach, don't.
Yes, you're getting too lax. The undertones. This is the last thing you have to do today, and then you're finished. You can rest for the rest of the day. Hold on a second, I'll organize everything.
What are you doing?
You see, you don't know. You see, I'm way ahead of you. You've got your piece of paper.
Yeah.
You are now Eamon McCann. Just limber up there. And you're doing the undertones, My Perfect Cousin.
But not at all.
Yes, you're doing it all.
No, not at all.
You've plenty of time to do it.
No. Could I do a couple of verses?
No.
Could I do 2 verses?
No, you have to do the whole thing.
Ach, it's too long. I'll never get through it.
You'll get through it.
I won't. There 1.
Trust in me. Stand easy, stranger.
3, 4, 5. Oh, many verses? 1, 2.
Well, you better start then. Go.
I've got a cousin called Kevin who's sure to go to heaven.
Good.
Always spotless, clean and neat, as smooth as you'll get 'em. He's got a fur-lined sheepskin jacket. Ma said it cost a packet. She wouldn't even let me explain that me and Kevin are not the same.
Fundamental differences in personality.
My perfect cousin, what I like, he doesn't. He's his family's pride and joy, his mother's little golden boy. He's got a I'm sorry about that. I was getting carried away there because I'm getting angry now, you see. People from the bog side, when we get the blood gets up, we run away with ourselves. We get a head of steam. He's got a degree in economics, math, physics, and bionics. He thinks that I'm a cabbage because I hate university challenge.
Cabbage is a popular vegetable. Yeah.
Even at the age of 10, smart Kevin was a smart boy then. He always beat me at Subbuteo because he flicked to kick and I simply didn't know.
You threw away the Subbuteo there. He always beat me at?
Subbuteo.
That's it.
my perfect cousin. What I like, well, he doesn't. He's his family's pride and joy, his mother's little golden boy. His mother actually bought him a synthesizer, got the Human League into Advisor. Now he's making lots of noise, playing along with Art School boys. Girls try to attract his attention, but what a shame. It's in vain. Total rejection.
Is there anything sinister there, I wonder?
He will never, ever be left on the shelf, 'cause Kevin's in love, absolutely in love with himself. My perfect cousin, my arse.
Thank you, Sean. That's C6 Steve, otherwise known as Sick Bag Willie. That's a track called You Can't Teach an Old Dog New Tricks, which is the title track of his last CD. The one before that, best title track ever. I started out with nothing, and I still got most of it left. Great show yesterday, kid. And by the way, Congratulations on being the #1 radio show for single women in the 21-34 age group. Well, that was a signal honour. Thank you very much indeed. Tommy, my cat, wrote repeats on the giant blackboard, turned to the assembled me, and he said, "Today, class, we will discuss television repeats, sometimes called reruns. If we go back in time, we find repeats, stroke reruns, were palmed off on an unsuspecting public as another chance to see. Now," yelled Tommy, "the Illuminati, who manipulate our brains, have come up with a new wheeze. Reruns repeats are now branded as, and I've seen this myself, classic episodes. So instead of a repeat, a rerun, or another chance to see, you're given an opportunity to watch a classic episode. So now we have classic Fools and Horses, and of course classic cars. Where will it all end? What will be the next marketing ploy to foist off rubbish on the general, sergeant and private public?" "Get out of this classroom," said Tommy, "and take your Simpson skull bag with you." I stood out in the hall listening to Tommy speak to an empty room with authority and oratory, bordering on genius. "What a cat," I said. "He also whips up a mean tortiera di cozze," which is, of course, an Italian dish. "Stephen Nolan is coming here tomorrow night to collect the Christmas Club money. What shall I do? If I stand close to him, my ass will expand like a Goodyear blimp." "Push the money under the door," said Tommy, "and hold a heavy, expensive industrial magnet next to your bum to help fight off the gravitational pull of Stephen's massive rear." I ran to the phone to order a magnet. Then I stopped and said, hold on. You're taking a hand out of me. I went to Sunday school. I read about osmosis in the Bible." "Osmosis? He was the boy who parted the Red Sea. So, William of Orange could cross the Boyne and sign the Ulster Covenant with a swan's feather." "You had me going there," I said to Tommy. "Osmosis. My ass! What are you talking about?" "I don't know." No more packing and unpacking. No more airports.
One scotch, one bourbon, one beer. One scotch, one bourbon, one beer. Please, Mr. Bartender, listen here. I ain't here for trouble and have no fear. One scotch, one bourbon, one beer. I don't want soda, no bubble gum. You got what I want, just serve me some. Since my baby's been gone, everything's lost. I'm on this kick and I can't get off. One scotch, one bourbon, one beer. One scotch, one bourbon, one beer. Please, Mr. Bartender, listen here. I ain't here for trouble, so have no fear. One scotch, one bourbon, one beer. My woman started me on this spree. I can't find her and she can't find me. She left this morning, said she wouldn't stay. She's been out all night and it's the break of day. One scotch, one bourbon, one beer. One scotch, one bourbon, one beer. Please, Mr. Bartender, listen here. I ain't here for trouble, so have no fear. One scotch, one bourbon, one beer. One more nip and make it strong. I got to find my baby. Takes all night long. One scotch, one bourbon, one beer. One scotch, one bourbon, one beer.
One scotch, one bourbon, one beer. That's from a singer called Amos Milburn. Did he not used to play for Newcastle United? A gentleman says to me, Gerry, me and my cousin got through out of a bar in Belfast one night. My cousin looked up at the bouncer on the floor and he said, if I was on £2 an hour, I wouldn't take any shite either. An act of defiance. How many followers has Geordie got on Twitter? Is Geordie on Twitter?
Apparently so.
He's not.
Apparently so.
What?
Mm-hmm.
You mean he went on himself?
Well, I don't know.
Must have been a sober moment. How would he do that? Isn't that amazing? Just goes to show you the world's changing, isn't it, all around us?
Mm-hmm.
Recently, you have turned your show into a request show, said Nigel Boyle. Lily the Pink, Nat King Cole. You've always resisted this. What has happened to you? Have you got sentimental? It's not like you. Perhaps the hair-dyeing toxins are leaking into your grey matter, or is it a side effect of a hair transplant? Now, I'm not quite sure whether I should take this as serious criticism or not, but I do believe that a sea change has occurred. There was a time when I would not have played a request, no matter who asked for it, but now I'm becoming human, I think is the word.
Josephine would like you to play Johnny Cash, Ride That Train.
Well, you see, I have often played that of my own volition before. I don't regard that as a great thing, a great departure, you know?
Yeah, but, you know, I'm only asking.
I don't have it with me at the moment.
You don't have it, that's
no.
okay. Well,
it's
maybe
quite
you
difficult.
Could get it tomorrow morning.
I don't know about tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning's quite different. I may not get that tomorrow morning.
Why not?
Because I don't know where it is, and I don't feel like rummaging through every drawer in the whole building to try and find it. Unless you can find it in your little machine there.
No.
Is Nadine Coyle an
maybe
Indian? Is Nadine Coyle an Indian? Have you been asked this before? I'm not quite sure if she is or not.
See all that stuff they read about dirty people in the newspapers? It's not true. It's not true.
Gerry, I really like that song. It had me dancing around the kitchen. Would that make me an Indian? There we go. Do people who dance around the kitchen, are they Indians? No, not necessarily, because I see a lot of people dancing and I know they're not Indians at all. Anything by...
Did you ever dance?
No, never.
On your own,
never.
in the house,
No.
someone come on the radio. And I don't mean dance.
Yes, I did. Something just came to me. I used to dance with my daughter.
No, I don't mean that.
No, I used to put on this record specifically so I could dance.
That's different. That's a wee playtime. That's a wee...
No, it's real dance and I enjoyed it.
Yeah, but that's different.
And do you know what the song was?
No.
Indian Reservation, Don Farden.
And would you pretend to be an Indian?
They took the whole
It's in your core.
Indian nation. Put us on this reservation. I should do a whole elaborate dance. I go, which proves to me, beyond any kind of doubt, and this is years ago, that I was an Indian before anybody else was one.
No, what I'm talking about, you're making a cup of tea, and you're out in your kitchen, right?
Yes, he's not in here at all.
I must have lied then. I thought
You
was.
lied.
I thought he was.
You're lying to me more often, I notice. You're trying to
I'm just
humour
trying
me.
to get you to use the core more.
No, but you see, I have to resist.
Do you want
this.
it to you? We can get it to you.
All right, but I want the original version.
Yes.
There's an old horrible version that's been recorded again. I don't want the new one. I would like that. Indian nation. Oh, it's great. I love that. And then the guitar. Anyway, let's not get bogged down in this. Will you get that for me?
Did you ever use the brush?
I can't think what you mean.
You know when you were a young man?
Yes.
You see, you may have been different from me.
Uh-huh.
When you were different from me.
Uh-huh.
You may have been different from most of us.
Yeah,
probably
I
the
don't know.
trees, right?
I'd say.
No, you know when we were young and we would have been listening to Luxembourg.
Yes.
Or Radio Caroline.
Mm-hmm.
Did you listen to Caroline?
Oh yes, I did all that. Yes.
But you see, this is I'm going to take you back to Luxembourg, and you would have heard music.
You mean the other night? 1H.
Right.
Yeah.
And
they should have won it. They should have brought on James McLean.
Right.
But then again, he plays the Republic of Ireland. Oh, it's a dilemma, isn't it? Anyway, go ahead.
Did you ever lift the brush and pretend you're playing the guitar?
I've never done that.
No, you see,
No.
that's because you had a guitar.
You had a real one.
You had a real guitar.
I had one since I was 14, 15. Yeah, I didn't.
But you never lifted the brush before that.
Nah.
Did you not?
Didn't see the point of it.
Huh?
Didn't see the point. And one of the things I think is important is that we should realise that, a lot of the things that we did in our childhood have formed us. For instance, now, that Indian dance I used to do with Indian reservation was a very important thing to me, and it was a rite of passage. You may not know this. You've only at Unit 1 in your social anthropology. When you get to Unit 3, you realise that the French call the rite de passage.
Right.
There are 4 stages in your life.
Yeah.
One is when you're born, right?
Yeah.
Second is puberty,
Uh-huh.
right? The third is when you reproduce.
Uh-huh.
The fourth is when you die. That's it. Everybody goes through the same thing. 4 rites de passage, rite de passage. That's it. We're at 3.75.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
You see, we've done 3 already.
Yeah.
You know, and the only thing left for us to do is die. You know, you see, that's not a great thing to look forward to, is it? All we can do is kind of, in the meantime, enjoy ourselves. And a man said to me once, he said, "Do you believe in God?" And I said, "No, I don't know if I do or not." He said, "It's the one thing I do, that if there is a God, he certainly didn't put us on this earth to enjoy ourselves. So why are we here?" I know this conversation is ranging, but it's important that we open our minds and, and discuss great things.
Well, are you happy with the hand that you've been dealt?
I am extremely happy with the hand
So
that I've been
am I.
dealt.
So am I.
I know. We've never known hunger unless we decided to not eat ourselves. We've never known real poverty, and we've known happiness. We've known. I know you had a happy childhood.
Uh-huh.
So my childhood was wonderfully happy. I've always did exactly what I wanted to do.
But there's a lot of laughter in our lives.
A lot of laughter.
Yeah.
A lot of laughter. Laughter. Our house was
A
full
lot of men
laughter.
don't laugh.
I know.
A lot of men.
And a lot of them are working for the BBC.
No, but a lot of men are grumpy. The big
All you have to do is
faces
walk
on them
around the
all
BBC
time.
and the big bakes on them.
Yeah.
The big men. They never had any fun. Wearing jackets with leather patches in their elbows. Anyway, our house was always full of laughter. We had a great house. Our house was... Do you know at one particular stage... Do you know... if you walked into our house at one time... This is when I was about 10 or 11. You'd walk into... We had a sitting room. A nice room, but nobody ever went in there.
No, we all at that.
And we had a kitchen, but our kitchen...
You went in on a Sunday.
On a Sunday, you were liable to go into our house. You were liable to go into our house on a Sunday, and do you know what you'd find? You'd find about maybe 4 musicians, right? The 6 or 7 girls who lived in our house who worked in the shirt factories, an old lady in the corner who wrapped everything up in brown paper, 2 bus conductors, a petty officer of the British Navy.
Not all at one time.
Yes, you were.
No.
I'm telling you.
No.
I'm telling you, that's the kind of house we had.
Not all at one time.
I'm telling you, my mother, and they're all chatting, joking, my mother in the middle,
Where did they
making apple cider. They were all standing around, sitting, lounging about. It was like a railway station. My mother in the middle, making buns for them all. And great. And I said, "You don't want a drop of whiskey?" So I was great. I was great. Anyway, I don't know why I'm talking about this. You see, the older you get, you start to go back.
I know.
Did you ever
Well, what am I going to do with you? I mean, your house is no longer there. When you start saying to me, "I want to go back to Sackville Street," there's the bus there. Can they get me the bus to Sackville Street? Where am I going to take you?
Yeah, but you know what you're going to do when I die, don't you?
I know what I'm going to do when you die, but before you die...
You're going to open my fork and put a bar of crunch in my hands.
Where am I going to take you?
Cemetery, Sean.
I'll take you down to Buncrana.
Yes, you just
may
leave me on the beach. Like a whale. Oh, that stopped very suddenly. I don't know if it was supposed to do that. No, I think it was. It was supposed to stop like that. That's a song called The Magical Mystery Tour of the Beatles, of course, from an album called Beetlegrass. An album called In a Perfect World by a band called Beetlegrass. They do acoustic versions of Beatles songs in a very unusual and very interesting way. I'd like to thank all the people who responded to the visit yesterday from those lovely people from Thailand.
Still getting calls today about it.
That's right, yeah. People couldn't do enough for them.
Yeah.
And indeed, Wooly Gregg doing a wonderful job there. And, you can tell he's a real...
He got very emotional yesterday.
He
It was
gets
a nice,
emotional. He's very emotional.
you could see that side of him.
No, because, you see, this is the first time that he's brought those kids here. And, he's been over with them and that kind of thing. But, this is the first time that they've realised, how good the people here are. And I think that's moved him, really.
Yeah.
To see their reaction. And all the people who rang up here and people offered, people who own cafes, restaurants, offered to come along and have a meal and do this and
people
you can stay with me and do
holiday.
this.
People were phoning yesterday offering to take the children on holiday.
And those kids will only be here for about 2 or 3 days, but they're not going to have a minute. I wish somebody would take a photograph of them and put it in the paper. I thought they might have been in the paper today.
Yes, we told you to do it yesterday. We asked you to do it yesterday and put it on your Facebook.
I can't
thing,
ask people to come down.
Whatever the thing you're on.
I'm not on Facebook.
What do you call that?
I have a nominal presence,
Aye.
but I'm not actively on it. I'm there, but I'm not actively on it.
Michael from
Yes.
Lancashire contacts the show. Can you give him information on the Phil Mac Country Show? When's it on and what channel?
I've never heard of it. Neither
have I.
Well,
There's a wee call for you.
Ask him to go away and leave us alone.
Who?
And the fellow who's asking about the Phil Mac Country Show. It sounds like a job for Hugo. Any chance
What
of
about
hearing?
your wee call?
I know. I'm going to it in a minute. Sorry for being short with you, but
I'm not well.
I know you're not well. That's why you're not thinking properly. Don't you see? I'm just about to go to it. Any chance of hearing On the Nickel from Tom Waits? Not for any particular request, just because it's a great song. That's a good idea.
Remember, put another nickel in.
Put another nickel in the Nickelodeon. All I want is loving you and music, music, music. How do you know if you're an Indian? You feel it in your bones. That's the only answer I can give you.
Did you ever have moccasins?
There was a woman on this morning. She was talking about people not being allowed to smoke in the grounds of a hospital. Do you know what people have to do now in some hospitals? They have to go outside the hospital. They can't smoke in the car park. They can't smoke outside the door. They have to go out to the main road and stand there and smoke. Really? And there was a woman on this morning, and I just wanted to thump her.
No, that's stretching.
Imagine you going out in your pyjamas. Can you imagine that? If you go into hospital. Okay. Gerry,
That's
would
not the patients.
And everybody. Everybody.
You wouldn't allow a patient out onto the main road.
Well, supposing you're a patient, right? Supposing you're a patient, right?
But you shouldn't be smoking.
I know, but that's not the point. You see, you shouldn't say you shouldn't be doing.
If you're in the hospital, you shouldn't be smoking.
Okay, put it this way.
If you're a patient, that's the
If
rule.
you're a patient, right, and you're a smoker, and you've tried as hard as you can to stop smoking, and you're trying hard, but you need a wee cigarette every now and again, and you're in the hospital, say for a broken arm or something like that, or say even worse, some kind of psychological problem, and you're in the hospital and you can't smoke, it'll make you far worse. And you're sitting there going off your head and you can't smoke, and you have to go out on the road, you'll be run down by a bus or something. And these people, what's wrong with these people? Gerry, would you please play My Elusive Dream by Tom Jones? You see what you've started?
Aye.
You started this.
That's a great song.
It's not. It was a lovely sunny day, and I was dancing in the kitchen when suddenly it started raining. Does that mean I'm an Indian? A cat with one eye has been found in the Coleraine area. It's orange, black and white with no collar. The lady found it, took it to the vet, and it's not chipped either. There we go. A cat with one eye, orange, black and white with no collar. And a tan Pomeranian dog was found yesterday on the Calais Road. It is a timid little dog with no collar. It feels underdressed. Any information, please contact the show. A tan Pomeranian dog found on the Calais Road. There we are, you see. Look at all the messages I'm reading. Is there a call here, did you say? Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Gerry. How you doing?
I'm all right, thank you. How are you?
Not too bad, doing well, thanks. Just on the thing with Sackville Street's knocked down, I was thinking there, Sean was wondering where to take you. Well, at our client, Nolan's always garden that he's from the top of the Shankill. So at the bottom of the Shankill, there was Sackville Street and Sackville Court, which is still there. So maybe if Sean could deliver you there, when you're 2 old radio broadcasters on the scrap heap, you could scrap it out from the top to the bottom of the Shankill each hour.
Did he say scrap heap there?
Whenever.
No, you see,
Whenever,
we're talking about Sackville Street here in Derry, Stoke Londonderry.
But it's the same thing, you know what I mean? It's the same name. You'll not hardly know where you are when you get that age.
It always doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what it is, as long as it's called Sackville Street. I was born there.
Sackville Street, that'll do. Yeah, listen, see if you get the chance, play one for me this week. Coldplay, Kingdom Come. It's a brilliant track.
Oh, yes, I know. I went to see Coldplay one time, and they actually played that.
Yeah, so they're fantastic.
It's very,
live,
very good.
So if you get a chance, let the listeners hear. It's a great track live.
All right, I certainly will. Okay.
Thanks very much, mate.
Thank you. Bye. Bye. What
Yes?
What did he want? Do you have any idea?
How many songs did the Beatles say were their own? Ask Gerry that.
This is a song that's associated with the young people who were in with me yesterday. It's the Extremists who have donated the royalties of their song to Willie Gregg's Orphan Fund.
Stay the way you are. Don't you ever change. Our love has come too far. Stay the way you are. And don't keep me hanging on. You're the singer of the song. And I loved you for too long. Stay the way you are. Well, people tell me I'm wrong, but I don't even care. As long as you're beside me, girl, my heart is in the air. Stay the way you are. Don't you ever change. Our love has come too far. Stay the way you are. Well, people tell me I'm wrong, but I don't even care. As long as you're beside me, girl, my heart is in the air. So stay the way you are. Don't you ever change. Our love has come too far. Stay the way you are. Don't keep me hanging on. You're the singer of the song, and I loved you for too long. Stay the way you are.
That's good. That's the Extremists, band from Coleraine. I don't know. Have they got together again? I really don't know. That's good, that. Gerry, would you please play Sean Donnelly, Homes of Donegal? Oh, I must play that soon. I haven't played that for a long time. That's one of my favourite songs. Also, any chance of Tom Russell's Who's Going to Build Your Wall? That's another great one. Look at all these things I forget about. I should make a note of all these things and say... and here's another thing which I meant to talk about, and maybe we should do something about this. Paddy Glasgow writes to me and he said, tell the people about the Philip Wallace is asked me to send you this. It's about the Foyle Folk Festival, which is returning for its 5th year here in Derry, Stoke Londonderry, of course. It's in the courtyard at Cafe Soul. Have you ever been down in the courtyard at Cafe Soul in Derry, Stoke Londonderry? Have you ever been down there?
I used to work in the courtyard.
You did not, did you? Yeah. What did you do there? You make fire guards?
No. Well, I worked in a building that backed onto it and had access to it.
Did you?
Yeah.
What did you do there? Were you a plasterer, a pummeler, a scummeler, a joiner? What were you?
I was an apprentice electrician.
Apprentice spark? I never knew you were one of those.
Yeah.
Isn't it wonderful?
Yeah.
The Cafe Soul, the courtyard, this Saturday, the 15th of September, and it's look at the artists who are appearing: Andy Irvine, Cashier Number 9, The Farriers, Little Hooks, Tara G, The Murder Balladeers, Our Cryptid Son, and last but not least, Paddy Nash and the Happy Enchiladas. Now, that's 8 acts.
When is that?
5 of those acts have been on this programme live.
When?
It's this Saturday. Can you not
What
hear
time
me?
it?
It doesn't say what time. I assume it will be in the afternoon.
No, because, what time are you going at?
I won't be here. I'll be
Oh, you're out of the country, aren't you, the weekend?
I will be, yes.
Yes, that's right.
See, I have other fish to fry.
Yes.
But I would go to that if I think I went to that one other year. This is the 5th year it's been on. I mean, I go to things. You should go to things too. You should.
I'll go and represent you since you're
I wish you will.
here.
Go
Yes,
down
I
there on
shall.
Saturday afternoon.
Will I carry a photograph of you?
Yeah, and paste it on your forehead.
I
think it's
representing
important.
him.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This is my representative here on earth.
And will I enjoy it on your
will
behalf?
Enjoy it. You will enjoy it on my behalf.
That's good.
I guarantee you will.
Good.
Go ahead. Have a great time. It's a nice wee song for you.
You caught my eye clear across the bar. That's a hell of a walk. What's a girl like you? My sign is enough small talk. This joint's too loud and crowded. I can tell you agree. So I'm gonna take you home and make you like me. No, come here a minute. Didn't you ever get the feeling like you're stuck on something at first sight?
Not really.
Like you're warm all over what the Germans call Gemütlichkeit.
Nein.
You're a hot little chickie, I'm a handsome stud. You do the biology. Now I'm gonna take you home and make you like me. Yeah, I'm gonna take you far from here, out of the valley of the shadow of beer, and up to a higher place where you belong. So sail away in my SUV and get closer to the real me, and you'll see your first impressions so
wrong. Your routine's all rusty. It's not working, trust me. In fact, you disgust me, you drunk hillbilly. I just smiled in passing. Now stop your harassing and finally one last thing.
No, don't say it. I couldn't stand to see
then
you.
sit down.
Well, you know you're the cutest little thing that's walked in here.
Oh, that's original.
Hey, Joe, here's a $20 bill. Give the little lady in it.
Hey, what's that there on your left hand?
Oh, well, that's an old war medal, if you must know. Now, listen, you probably don't realize I'm a big, important fella.
You're a big, important something.
I'm down here from Chicago and Warner Brothers Division.
Oh, do they know about this? You might want
for
to...
new country talent.
The authority.
And I think you got just the look we're looking for.
Yeah, so does every other girl in this bar,
Just
no
take my
doubt.
business card here in case you...
That's
hold on,
all
let
right.
Me
I won't...
Oh, son of a bitch. Hold on, let me see. Car key, credit card.
You are a
my house key, my... Hey, here's a duplicate house key. Now,
Oh, really?
You just hold on to that in case it ever comes in.
You know what? I don't think I'm going to
Come on,
need
just
it.
put it in
You
your
might
pocket,
want to
you
hold
know.
on to
Come
it.
on,
in
take
case
it,
You get
take
it.
it, take
You
it, take
I
it,
don't
take it.
your
I'm gonna take
routine's
you
all
home, little honey.
rusty. It's
I'm
not
gonna take
working,
you. Hey,
trust me.
bartender,
In
where's the
fact,
cab? I
you
wanna settle up
disgust
now.
me.
You stay
You've
right
got
here.
some hot
I'm gonna
seat.
buy me.
You
You're
don't
gonna love my great
recognize
big
me.
neck.
You
I'm
better
gonna take
get
you
home. You
home.
fast-talking, slow-thinking, gin-guzzling hound dog. You are so drunk, you have forgotten that we's married.
That's Stanley O'Donnell's new single.
I forgot to tell you about me dream.
Well,
We haven't time now.
I know.
Hold on a second. These people are still talking.
I'd better take you home and make you like me.
That's Robert, folks. Tell me about your dreams some other time. Perhaps maybe
about
next
Prince
week.
Philip and a priest.